All right, Keith. So one of the big things we always get from consumers is how to know if this house is the one, right? Is that fair?
Yep.
So we've kind of created like a process to go through this. And so we've got the heart says yes. Now we got to figure out, does the math say maybe or does the math say yes? And there's a couple things that go into this, right? If you're looking at properties at a certain price point, you should have already got your principal, your interest, your taxes, your insurance, right, in advance from your lender.
Yep, you
right?
should know the math going into it.
Yeah, you should know the math going into it, right? So the math saying maybe, really you're needing to verify taxes and insurance for this specific property, right? But your principal and interest, roughly, if you're looking within a pricing band, you should already know roughly.
It's going to be within that target area. It's not going to
regardless of the house, it's still roughly that principal and interest, right? Unless you're looking like $100,000.
Yep. Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So, okay. And then now we're on the emotional side of things, right? So talk through some of the emotional green flags people want to feel and should consider, right?
Well, you definitely want to make sure that you look into your must-haves. You know, that's the thing that brings you into the house that makes it the one, the thing that you really want. You want to look into your school districts, make sure that it has some good resale potential.
Yep.
You're kind of looking at things like that. Are you comfortable with the payment? Is your lifestyle going to have to change because you're going to be house poor, or are you finding something within your payment structure with the taxes, with your principal payment that's going to fit? And you know, what kind of condition is it in? Is it something that you're comfortable with having to put another $50,000 into to make it really the one, or is it something that you really need to have turnkey, move-in ready, that, hey, this is, once we walk in, we don't have to touch it for the next 5 years?
Yeah, and I love the idea of lifestyle fit. If you're someone who spends a lot of time in your backyard, is backing up to a main road perfect, good for that, right? You know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe you're getting a deal, so you'll deal with it, right? But I think you hit it right. There's musts and there's wants. Does it check the musts?
Yep.
At the end of the day, right? Okay, now we're moving into some things that are a little bit, you know, what I'll call this budget and quick check, right? So some things that aren't principal, aren't interest, aren't taxes, aren't insurance, and that's going to be what type of things need to be repaired for this home specifically.
The first thing that you really need to look into is the HOA. We're in a climate right now where there's not a lot of HOAs that are, you know, popping up, but some of the traditional ones, you could have something that is up to $300 a month that would really impact your payment, where you're not really expecting that because it's not on your initial sheet of what your payments are, your interest, your insurance. So your HOA, and it could cover your snow removal, it could cover, you know, all your lawn care. So it might be worth it, but that's something that you need to look into ahead of time.
Well, and here's the thing too. So I had this property in Oakland Township, right? And they had just done the windows, they'd done the driveway, they did the roof, but the kitchen was still 2005. The bathroom was still 2005. Well, if I added up what they, well, I didn't need to add it up. The seller added it up for me. There's $140,000 they put into windows, roof, driveway, right? Well, it didn't have kitchen. It still had original kitchen and had original bath. You can do a lot of bathrooms and you can do a lot of kitchens for $140,000. If they would have had the kitchens and baths done and spent, let's just say, $70,000, it would have looked really, really great for photos. But you would have still had that $140,000 to put into it, right? So actually that house was better, the fact that they did the roof, they did the windows, they did the driveway, but didn't do the kitchen and bath. Now you can go do the kitchen and bath for half the price and build it out to what you want.
Make it the way that you want it, and you get to take care of that big ticket item versus
as realtors, we love the beautiful kitchens, we love the beautiful baths because it makes a lot of traffic come to the property. But as a homeowner, you got to consider what big ticket items haven't been done here that we'll need to do, right? So then just right before you make the offer, right, or as you're making the offer, this is where you're going to decide what are we going to offer, right? And you're going to want to look at comps, right? Talk offer strategy. Is it multiple offers? Is there any type of investment focus? We're going to look at safety and structure issues coming out of the inspection, or what potential safety and structure issues can pop up in the inspection. And remember, you have the inspection, right? You're not married to this house until you're basically through the inspection period and then through the appraisal, right? So if you have any other questions on whether or not knowing if this house is the one for you, go ahead and leave a comment or message us. If you want additional content just like this from great agents like Keith, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks.